Hey, welcome to a video about what tools you need to be an electrician. A lot. You gotta spend a lot of freaking money too. But we're gonna go through all the ways to empty your wallet in one single trip to your local home store. But before we get started, if you could please leave a comment, hit the like button, and subscribe. I've realized I don't ask people to do that enough, and because of it, I'm punished. So, all I ask in return, hit the buttons. All of them. Just bash the shit out of all of them. Oh, I can't swear. Oh, well, I can. It's my channel. Here we go. All right. No edits. This is going to be raw dog, not raw dog. This is going to be just raw footage. All right. And I'm just grabbing stuff off the thing. Like, there's no like format to this because you'll spend over $1,000 probably no matter what order I take this in. So first up are my insulated Klein screwdrivers. I absolutely love these screwdrivers. They got a mid-range tip on the end of the flat blade that fits wall plates, circuit breakers, fittings, but I wouldn't use this for fittings. It doesn't have enough torsion to it, but a very versatile set. And I like the insulated aspect of it for a lot of different reasons, but one, I don't like getting shocked. So pick yourself up a pair of these. You can find them at Home Depot. By the way, I am not endorsing any products because none of these companies give me jack squat. Especially after what Milwaukee did to my tool rep, did him wrong, got him fired, and then never got any more free Milwaukee stuff. So anyways, I got no endorsements going out to anybody. These are just a few of my favorite flavors. And another one up on the list are my 9-inch dikes, or diagonal cutters. But they got a 9-inch shaft. Oh, that's what she said. Anyway, good leverage. Good for cutting screws, good for cutting wires, good for reaching into places that you can't really get to. Pretty much always have these on my person. Another one, they're my lineman pliers. Now on these, I like to have this right here. I do a lot of low voltage work, so having this crimp fitting right here helps out a lot. But again, these are just a simple 8-inch pair of lineman pliers. This particular pair has been blown up once or twice, so it makes for a nice stripper. And this is magic. They should do that. Just drop it out. And the way you get that to do that is you put a little tool oil in here, and then depending on your set, you find out which way the pin is going, and then you hit it so that it opens it up just a little bit, because having to push these open all day will drive your fingers crazy, so you definitely just want that to open up like that, especially on your lineman pliers. All right. I like a short-handled 20-ounce hammer with an open claw. Really get some leverage out of it, but also this part, I like the handle short so it's not smacking me in the back of the knees all day when it's in my tool belt. You're going to want to pick yourself up a nice little torpedo level. Spend some money on this because you're going to use it a lot. This one in particular has earth magnets across the bottom, and it'll do all the angles. And then it also, if you look at it this way, see how it's got like a little valley in there? That's for the pipe, so that it sits right on the pipe. And then you can level it out and all that kind of stuff. Definitely want to pick up one of these. Also, you're going to want a nice set of multi-Allen keys, ones that are on something. Don't buy the ones that are a bunch of free keys because you'll lose them. You'll want to set, these are Kleins, they're nice. They have a plastic body to them, so you can really, they'll still take a beating. And what you'll need these for is panel covers and any kind of specialty terminals, because this is where all the sizes for all the different lugs are going to come into play. This one's more of a grower than a shower, but we'll show something. I used to have every individual nut driver, and it sucks because you lose them. With this, you've got, I like that right there. See that? I can put a wrench on the end of this and crank down or loosen with a little extra leverage while still being able to hold the handle and turn things. So anyway, we got 1/2 inch, 11/16. You even have this 1/4 inch nut driver, so you could put regular sockets on the end of it. Then you flip it inward, and you've got a 1/4 inch socket on the inside there. These are all have earth magnets on them, so that helps out a lot because then it holds whatever it is that you're working on. Then it goes into 7/16. And we flip it to the other side. And we've got 9/16, 3/8, and 5/16. But they all got earth magnets, and it helps hold it all together. So I definitely suggest, this is another Klein tool. A lot of my stuff is Klein. Again, no endorsements because they're not paying me jack shit, but you get the idea. This is a good tool to have. It fits in the tool pouch. It's not something I'd be carrying around like when I'm roughing in and stuff like that, but it's definitely something that you're gonna want like in your bag, which I'll get to. They make these nice tool backpacks, so clutch. Like I bought one of these 15 years ago and I've had it ever since. Love it. So I have all this kind of crap usually in there and not dumped out on the table. Milwaukee permanent markers. These are great. They're called ink saws, like a sawzall, but for ink, and they'll draw on anything. And so I like having a couple of these always in my person. Throw one in my hat. Have a roll of black electrical tape. I like just the normal Scotch 33 plus or whatever this is. It's good to 200 degrees or whatever, 90 degrees Celsius is. Yeah, it's like 200 degrees, and then it goes -10 Celsius. So it's a good thing to have. Let's get into multimeters. Got a couple of different meters here that I keep on me at all times. One is a pen tester. I love this thing. You can crank this sucker up to like high, and then if you trim out all your switches, and let's say somebody buried a recess can, my arch nemesis, the drywallers, you could actually take this thing and rub it up against the ceiling and it'll find it. It'll start beeping like crazy, which is pretty sweet if you put it on the most sensitive setting. You could also like half-ass find a pipe going horizontal across a wall. These are a few of the non-conventional uses for this. Normal use is like, you stick it in the outlet. Oh, it works, beeps. Or you put it near something. Clamp meter is like probably the most versatile meter. You don't really even need this one if you got this one, but this thing can be kind of bulky and clunky. And when you're just quick testing, for 220 or 110, then you could use a touch meter instead. But obviously for your more complicated stuff like clamping on for ohms or resistance testing, you wouldn't clamp on for ohms. I don't know why I said that. You'd clamp on for amps. See, they're right next to each other, and I'm nervous today. It happens. Anyways, back to this. This is another Klein tool. This is a really nice meter. I've had this for a while. It lights up and whatnot. It's got a nice little light in there, and you can actually even hook this thing up to do temperature. Never done it, but it'll do Fahrenheit, Celsius. Does a Hertz test and some diode testing and continuity checks, multi-voltages of both AC, DC, all the way up to a 4,000 count, which is pretty good for a field. And it's also got this nice little holder, so you can jam that in something. Yeah, so I have one of these at me all the time. This is the biggest piece of crap that you can buy at the store for $3.95, but I strongly suggest having a plastic square, not a metal one, because maybe you've never done it, but if you've ever dropped a 7-inch framing square into a panel, it makes a big boom. So invest in a plastic one, and you don't have to have that problem. The only thing you're really going to use this for is pretty much marking out the top of a panel anyways. I really don't see any necessity for a framing square otherwise, but if you were to keep one in your bag, I would strongly suggest this polycarbonate one or plastic, because it's lightweight and it won't blow up the panel. Some other hand tools, you got channel locks. These are actually not the channel locks. These are one of the channel locks that I keep in my bag, but they work for reaming out the backside of a conduit kind of well, but only for 1/2 inch. Like you got this little bit of a nub right here. I do have a pair that I have stripped all of the coating off of. Those is what I usually use for 3/4, 1 inch and above. And then you can also then open these up, and these will work to ream out inside of a pipe. These will obviously do the outside. So I was actually watching a YouTube video today of a guy installing an electrical panel, which is a video I'm probably going to do tomorrow or the day after, because I have to install an electrical panel on the tiny house that I'm working on. But I saw him cut big cable, like number 3s, or maybe they were 1/0s or some. It was ridiculous. He cut them with a Sawzall. So don't do that. You look like an asshole. Ah, there goes swearing again. Okay, well, I hope they don't demonetize me for a couple of swears. So anyway, these are cable cutters that fit in your pouch, and they work just fine. And they'll cut 3s. They'll cut 1/0. I mean, you just gotta have some tough hands, but don't bust out a Sawzall to cut the wire. You look like a jerk. Get yourself some of these. All right, let's get into the tool belt. As you can see, I have multiples of tools because, as I've mentioned in other videos, hand tools rarely break, but they always get lost. So, and then you find them again. So then you have multiples. These are my rough-in tools for Rollmex. I'm gonna have a mid-range screwdriver at all times, pretty much always on my person. It's either in my back pocket or it's in my tool pouch. It fits everything, and it has enough torsion as far as the shaft length. Oh, that's what she said. But anyway, this is like my number 1 screwdriver. Then my number 2 screwdriver happens to be a number 2 screwdriver. I've had this, I think, 15, 20 years. I use it on all the breakers, stuff like that. Then I've got my big boy, which the name is escaping me, but I use it for everything. It's like a one-man wrecking crew. You can use it as a chisel, use it for fittings. It has endless uses. You got Rollmex strippers. There's a million different types of these. These are nice because they do 14-2 and 12-2. And the 12-2s can also do the 14-3 if you're careful. Oh, look at that. There's a lone wolf of a nut driver, 7/16. I have no idea why that's in my bag. 16-inch tape, 16-foot tape measure is the tape to have. It's long. Conduit is only 10 feet long anyway, so why have some big 25-footer unless you're laying stuff out? I have those tape measures in my bags, but what I keep on my person is a 16-foot tape measure, and just in case you lose that one, I always got a second one in my saddlebag. All right, hammer holder. This is my tool belt. I don't like the canvas belt or the canvas pouches. I like old school leather pouches. This is a Klein 5178, and this is AWP. I don't even think they make these anymore. This is just a regular carpentry pouch. And in here is some more stuff. I like this Klein outlet tester because it also gives you a full, I don't know if you can see that, but it gives you a full readout on there. So that's sweet. Some of the bits I keep on me at all times are in my front pouch down here. And I'm going to have things like a 1/4-inch drive socket, T25, number 2, and there's a bunch of other random bits in here, but it's always good to have the screw bits right here. And then I always have a box cutter on me. And in here, because I've been running Romex, I've got mostly just cable straps, some paddle bits. I don't even know why that's in here, but anyway, it is. Oh, just in case things get dirty, got some gloves. All right. This is another really handy tool. You're gonna find it mostly if you're running low voltage. It's a toner. And I like having this on me, not like in my tool pouch, but if you've ever used one of these before, it's not that complicated, but I'll just go over it quickly. So you have this box right here with these alligator clips. They're gonna clip onto your one end of your wire, and then this mabobber right here, let's see if we can get it to beep. So let's say this was like chilling in the ceiling, right? And you're like, where's that wire? And that's on super sensitive, but like if we got it like down to like really low. So the drywall's there, you're like, hey, where is it? It's pretty handy to have, especially if you're looking at Romex, especially if you got a Romex where, and you can do this with the ohm meter too. You can trace there's ways to trace a Romex down, but a really fast way is alligator clip this thing on one end and then go to the panel and just start swatting around on the lowest setting, and you can find the Romex pretty fast. So I like having a toner somewhere in my arsenal. Then I got some 11-inch zip ties because you can't go wrong with those. Yes, I still have one of these in my box. I have a prehistoric hacksaw with me at all times. In case, why would I do that? In case you run out of batteries. Then I like the Makita's version of the bandsaw, and I mean, get with it, people. If you don't have a bandsaw, like you're just not living, because this thing is sweet, especially for cutting conduit. And like that one jackass, he cut with the sawzall, cut the cable, but I wouldn't use it for that. I love this thing. This thing is great. It's got an automatic clutch in there, which can be sometimes annoying, but otherwise the Milwaukee Whole Hog cordless, back in the day, like when I first became an electrician, I had the big corded Milwaukee Whole Hog with a 2-speed transmission box on it. The thing weighed as much as a Cadillac. This thing, pretty ultra light, depending on what battery you got on here. I actually rarely run a 3-amp battery. I'll typically run the 9-amp or 10-amp battery, but perfect for drilling holes. And you can't go wrong with a set of hand drills. I particularly like the Makita ones, and then I got a couple of different bits on here to show you. Obviously, quick change on my impact driver. And I usually will put screw bits or whatever in there, but then I'll also run my paddle bits for drilling holes. And then you cannot survive without a unibit as an electrician. I'll use that shit for anything. No, it's one of the best because it punches that 1/2-inch slug real nice. And yeah, between my bandsaw and my hand drills, I try to keep, I have the same brand there. That way they use all the same batteries. You don't have to use any particular brand, but that's why they do it that way, so that you get in the groove of buying only that type of tool. What a bunch of tools. Yeah, what a bunch of tools. These are my tools. This is what I got. And then here's my Milwaukee bag. Another battery. But yeah, let me open this up. There's nothing really in it because I emptied it all out, but see, all the tools, they'll fit in here real nice. Some pockets and stuff. There's even another pocket in the back. And then you could throw this on Then you got your bender or whatever in your other hand, your 4-foot ladder. Oh, 4-foot ladder, 6-foot ladder. Have both of those. They're great. It's pretty much all you'll need for residential is a 4-foot and a 6-foot. Anything else the boss should provide. Well, that takes us through our hand tools. If you have any other questions about hand tools or where to buy them, or you know what brands are good, what are bad, leave some comments below. And otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow.